You mentioned a few weeks ago that you liked the setup late because you're going to get to see where your guys are at. Where do you feel they're at right now after this performance?
Well, I think as a team we wrestled better than we've wrestled all year, and we hope to see that at the end, towards the end, And I think that most of the matches that were kind of critical and didn't know which way it was going, it looked like we kind of took it over in the second period, middle of it, rather than waiting towards the end. We kind of took control a little bit in the second, and that was the difference in the outcome.
You were there for Montesmith and Santana. Was it as loud when Nick pinned Lee as it was when you were a kid?
Well, remember that was Gallagher Hall, and that was
Oh, really, still.
yeah,
Pretty
it's
loud.
like being in a tunnel. It's pretty loud. Yeah. All I can remember is my feet vibrating. I was 12 years old. I was the Cowboy. So
Remember it today at all?
yeah, it's good.
Coach, you're tied up and had 4 seniors finish the duel with victories on senior day. Can you just talk about them and what they've meant to this program and
Well,
today's
you
performance?
you always hate to see seniors go, but this is a group that been really good for the team and the people around them. Not just in the sport of wrestling, but as individuals, they're good people, and they've really rubbed off on a lot of the younger guys, and that's what you hope for. You hope you build a culture, and that culture's tough first, right? And also being good people and good students, and so it's going to be hard to see those guys go, but they darn sure. It's a great feeling for them to be able to leave with a win like this as they go on into their careers.
You started today exactly as you would want to start any duel, but I mean, to double the energy level of the room, and not to mention, I'm sure your guys. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better beginning, could you?
No, and I don't think you expect that. You didn't expect that, and that's even something that makes it even bigger. It's you go out and you create action. I thought he did a good job after the escape, putting the pressure on immediately, something that he hadn't been doing, and put himself in position to find a pin and move, and then putting him away. It's one thing about putting the guy to his back. It's another thing about pinning him. So you got to give Nick credit. No question that he definitely started us off in a way that you look to start off in big dual meets.
You guys celebrated with a lot of emotion. Did you like the way they wrestled? Did they have the same kind of emotion when they were on the mat itself?
I think so. We just, I thought in a lot of the matches, even in a couple that we got beat, I liked what I saw at 57. I think he can grow from that. It just seemed. Gave up a takedown, a couple takedowns easy, but stayed in the match and kind of clawed it out. Looked for a reversal at the end, picked it up. So you like, if you're going to lose, you want to see, us finish the period or finish the match. And we finished the match with a reversal, a breakdown, and trying to get a turn.
At 133, it was like both guys are so technically masterful that, usually that one guy can wait for the other to make a mistake, but there weren't going to be mistakes in that one. I mean, and as it turned out, no nonsense. Just
Wrestling.
strictly, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the way you expected it now that you reflect on it?
Sometimes you don't know, how the match is going to go, but what you do need to know is that your guy's going to be aggressive, and he's going to go out and he's going to look for points, and in the middle of the second, he's not going to fade, or the middle or the late in the third, he's not, So one thing that we have with Dayton, he's going out to wrestle, and as a freshman. It's good to know that, That's the toughest weight in the country by far, and it's the deepest I've ever seen any weight ever in my coaching career. It's as deep as any weight I've ever seen.
Coach, what was the explanation on the waved off takedown in that match at 133, and what did you see there?
Well, let's just pass on that. Got to be a little careful what I say, Do I think it was 2? I believe it was 2. Guy hit his hip. We got our hands locked. But you got to be prepared. And I think Dayton was prepared that they may not give it to him, so it's good to see him finish out that period, especially the third period on top.
125, was there any hesitation choosing bottom? Was that something you guys thought about? Obviously, Spencer's really good on top.
Listen, you wrestled a defending national champion. I don't think you have the luxury to not choose bottom. So, I mean, you can't give up that point in big matches. So I don't think we ever hesitated. We didn't even talk about it this week. I think Nick knows my opinion on it, and he probably got ready to go on bottom.
Coach, what went into the decision at 65 and 74 bumping Chandler up today?
Well, we had a sick wrestler, that probably couldn't have wrestled today, or wouldn't have been much if he did. That was Joseph. Nothing that should last longer than 2 or 3 days, but in the end, we just made a decision. Actually, yesterday, late last night, that Chandler was going to move up, and we were going to insert one of our seniors in at 65.
You talked before about how he's one of the best you've coached at getting guys on their back. On senior day, gets a pin. Just how fitting is that?
He's a pinner, in a time that probably needed the pin. You just need something turned around. They won 49-57 and got a pin at 65. Somebody's got to step out and turn it around. And dual meets and big dual meets that are going to be competitive. You could get on that losing streak, and maybe I didn't expect to lose at 49. I mean, we had 3 guys step out and had great wins, and then all of a sudden we lost at 49. So. It's always in dual meets, it's the guy that always turns the dual meet around. I think that's what Chandler did for us.
A lot of hype, John, on this meet, and then when the guys get here, the crowd's fantastic. Do you ever worry about maybe too much excitement out of your guys, that they try to meet those expectations and that hype? And if so, how do you think they handled the environment?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, just
Just the hype, you mean
Yeah.
the week, during the week?
Right, and
Well,
then-
we're wrestling. We got to do that. We got to do things to put people in the stands. We got to remind people when our matches are, those are that we just got to deal with that, and we'll continue to have to deal with it. We're gonna build up hype, and we're gonna put people in the stands, and when we have a chance to do it, you got to do things as a coach to create that environment, and sometimes it may not be the best scenario for you, but hey, our guys are pretty tough, from the standpoint of, dealing with, hype or expectation.
Coach, what can we expect to see moving into postseason at like 65, 74, 84 with your lineup?
You need to ask me in about 7 days. So,
How are you guys going to go about determining that? Wrestle house?
you need to ask me in 7 days. Yeah. So, just kind of keep in mind, I think people, we got, when you look at the rankings, at 65 right now, 74, probably not even, at this time, not even predict to be an All-American. I think our rankings are below 8. So, I mean, we're going to we need to go with the guy that can score some team points, So, we'll see how it goes.
The Rogers outcome was critical, but I mean, then Jacoby Smith comes out and does what he does. I mean,
Well, remember,
I guess a lot of guys would get a game ball, but it seems like to sustain the momentum, I guess.
Yeah, and I think what people, remember Jacoby had to weigh in at 179 pounds today too, so minus 5 pounds from 84. You wouldn't think that's a whole lot, but it really is in wrestling, and so that's even more impressive what he's capable to do and what he did today. He's going to drop on down to 74. He will be our 74-pounder going into postseason. So he's a tough guy. Gives this team a lot of reasons to watch closely, and want to mimic him.
Your body
Well,
fat's
getting back
0 to
points
start
with
with.
Preston, is it a case where you're feeling he's getting back comfortable with how dominant he was on top?
You know, it was a good match for Preston, you know, from the standpoint of what this guy's gone through, you know. I mean, you know, in his career, so many reasons to, you know, look past wrestling and say, I'm going to move on, you know. The number of injuries he's had and had to deal with personally, you know, just would give him an easy out, you know. But he's kind of just dug deep and has found himself back in the lineup, and he's healthy right now, and whatever he can do for us is going to be big.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Yep. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Feel good. Feel great.
What, just describe the emotions of, you know, at the end of the match.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't describe them. They're undescribable. It's just what's just built up inside you. I mean, the fans got loud, crowd was cheering, and I knew it was big for our team to start that off. Obviously, you know, if you start off with 6 points, it's always going to carry over. So, I mean, I just knew it was something big. Obviously, for me, it was a big feat, and for our team, I knew it was going to just light us up.
Leading up to this, you know, this week or whatever, leading up to the match, you know, did you know, sometimes you think you're going to win, sometimes you know you're going to win, sometimes you hope it maybe goes my way, you know, and you've wrestled twice and been on the other end, but how did you feel coming into this one?
Yeah, different. Like I said, I've been feeling like a different person this year. Confidence levels through the roof. I mean, my training has just kept on building and building. So I just knew I was a little bit different this year, and so I knew I had that going in. I wasn't the same person.
So you're not the same person. Do you feel like that win is going to take you to another level moving forward?
Sure, yeah, I really do, and it's something that you know, I showed all year.
There was some video earlier this week where he said, pitch it whatever his name is. Did you see that? Was that any motivation?
That wasn't Spencer. That was Gilman from the years before.
Yeah, but just the atmosphere of Iowa. I mean, did that kind of spark you into this?
I mean, it's always there. You know, you hear it. People talk. So, yeah, you know, you never take that duel lightly. You know, we never take this duel lightly, ever. So, you know, if you don't go into this duel thinking, you know, you got to perform your best and, you know, watch out. So, but our team is well prepared and well prepped, and we knew that coming into this duel.
It's been kind of a quiet season for you. I mean, do you feel that this was kind of a statement for you?
I mean, sure, you know. I think it would be a statement for anybody. I don't really pay attention to, you know, whatever, you know. I mean, it's not quiet to me. I think I'm doing all right, but I still, you know, I guess still got to work. Still got work to do. Still can improve in areas. So, you know, I think that's why. That's what's been driving me, is that I haven't been complacent. You know, even after every win, I look and I try to nitpick what I can do better, or make stuff work even better for me.
Nick, how sweet is it to get your first Hawkeye victory against a guy like that in that fashion?
Yeah, it was a great feeling, and it was definitely one for one of the greater memories I'll have. So I mean, to get a win over a Hawkeye, it's a great feeling.
Chandler, what was it like starting that OSU chant after getting a pin on senior day?
I mean, it's just when you've been here for so long, it's fun to just get everybody together, because it's if you don't really understand it unless you're at OSU, but once you're in the Oklahoma State wrestling program, I mean, it's a family, and like, you see people on the streets and you see people at any restaurant and they're like, hey, good luck this weekend, or hey, good job, like, you did a great job. And so it's just kind of like it's not really like a chant that I start. It's really a chant that like kind of gets us all going. And so it's just kind of fun because it is a family, and so it's a big deal.
You guys be able to take a bow after that as well for the crowd that's been behind you?
Yeah, I mean, I come out, and my one thing that I want to do is I want to compete for my team, and then I want to put on a show for the crowd. And if I can do that, then I'll do it. And so that was kind of like my last show, and so it's time for the postseason and to get things really cracking.
You guys were tied up 12-12 with 4 seniors left, and all 4 of you guys won. What's that like?
You know, I just saw it at 12-12, and I was like, well, let's go out and let me go out here and try and give us another head start. I mean, Nick gave us a head start right off the bat, and we came back and it was 12-12, and now it's like, all right, now it's my turn to give us a head start. And so then we just kind of needed that next boost, and those things just constantly. I mean, for being here for 5 years, you understand how big a pin is. Like, it just changes momentum, and it changes the attitude of the next guy and the next guy and the next guy, and so it just keeps rolling. And so just seeing 12-12, and having all our seniors go out and do the things that we've been doing for 5 years, it was great.
Digging with what Chandler just said, you were the guy up next after Nick's big pin. What did that do for you momentum-wise going into a big match of your own?
I mean, it fired me up. Really, the crowd was so loud after Nick pinned the defending national champ. So, it was just really got me fired up, and I was ready to go.
Dayton, how did he feel? Because he came out and took ground right away, you know. Did he feel like you expected? Was it different, more pressure, stronger, not as strong?
That inside tie that he has, it's something that you just have to feel, to really get the feel of. After I felt it a couple times, I did a pretty good job of staying out of it. But, I mean, he's got a really good inside tie, and if you try to put pressure back into him, that fireman's is going to come. So I knew that I needed to just give a little ground and clear that inside tie before I started going forward again.
For any of you, just how big was this match momentum-wise heading into postseason now?
That's our rival. So I think anytime you beat your rival by a pretty good margin, it's going to be a good motivation for your postseason.
I mean, I think we all went out and demonstrated how, that we're a force to be reckoned with, and it just really kind of puts us out there. I mean, a lot of people don't really look at Oklahoma State maybe as a big powerhouse in all the teams that we have right now that are up there, but us doing what we did tonight, it really shows them that we can come out and we can compete, and we can go for a national title, and we're not settling for third place or second place, or we're just wanting to go after that title.
Preston, when you've been at your best here at Oklahoma State, it's from the top and whatnot. While you didn't get any back points today, do you feel like you're getting back there with how much riding time you're able to put up tonight?
Yeah, I felt pretty good, honestly. It was a lot of riding, you know. But I mean, I'm good on top, and I feel like I got a couple back points there, but I mean, that's the way it goes. You know, when it got tough, I had to grind it out, and being my third match back, you know, it's a grind, but I think I'm good enough shape, you know. I didn't slack when I was off, and it's tough, but you know, having those injuries like that, but you know, you just got to come back, and it just drives you a little bit, you know. But
do you feel like you needed this type of match? Because like you said, it's only been a couple matches that you've had now going into the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe mentally you have a good one, really good one now under your belt heading into Big 12s.
yeah, I mean, I was prepared for whatever. Like I said, my conditioning's up. I trust it. I just felt like I was ready, and I think I'll be ready for Big 12s and nationals, you know. So.
What was it like this season, you know, not being able to compete, having to watch these guys, and wishing you're out there, but obviously knowing you can't be?
Yeah, it's tough, you know, and having a team like this, you always want to be there and be there for them, and all those up and downs. It's kind of crazy, but you know, if I only thought I was just an All-American, I'd be like, well, is it worth it, you know? But I think I can win it, you know. I was right there last year, and I'm there this year, you know. But yeah, I'm ready.
Nick, there was a lot of talk this week about where's this tool going to start. Where were you kind of when you found out that they were starting at 125, and kind of what was your mindset with that?
I'm always prepared for anything. I mean, yeah, you never know with a team like that coming in, and you know, if their coach wants to start a different way. But I mean, we've been through it all, you know, over the whole season. So we're you know, I'm ready. Obviously, I prepare off the jump, you know, every single time I'm prepared for them to start at 125, always. So if they do end up drawing, it's I mean, we like to get it started from the jump. Like we like it, to start it right away. So when the coach comes in and draws, we're all like wild, We're like saying like, oof, like I want to start at 33 or 74 or 97. And obviously I'm like, I hope they draw 25. Obviously they don't, but no, I come in there and I just prepare for it every time. That obviously we're gonna start at 125. It's gonna go just like Big 12s will go and NCAAs, lighter weight first. And so I wasn't really too worried about where it was gonna start or end.
Nick, you and Dayton, first 2 matches, when you guys come out and see the crowd and feel the atmosphere, do you have to guard against getting too excited, or does it pump you up even more? How do you respond to an environment like this?
We're so trained, and we've been in these environments. I mean, this is probably one of the bigger things I've been a part of. The Penn State duel, obviously NCAAs. These guys, we've all been there, so we just kind of know what to expect. But you have to kind of let yourself know. This is gonna be a loud one. It's gonna be crazy, and so just you prepare for it. For these kinds of matches.
Chandler, while you were emotional after yours, Derek finishes off, and you could tell that he was pretty emotional, kind of almost holding back tears because him being an Oklahoma kid, this was his last one as well.
Mm-hmm.
For you, seeing a fellow senior like him being able to close out the match that way as well, how satisfying was that for you?
I mean, it's good. It is an emotional day. I mean, just because it is the last duel, and you want to win your last duel as well. Because I mean, I could go out and I could be selfish, and I could go win a match. I could go win that match 5-3 and get a decision, or I can go do something for my team and go win this duel. And so I had the opportunity to go out and do some big things, and I took advantage of it. And I think that it is nice to see, like, it's nice to have that last duel go the way you want it to. And that's what really kind of got me into all the other seniors matches. I was like, I want it to go well for them too. Like, I want them to win their matches and do the things that we need to do. And so it's a hard, it is emotional because it is the last duel, but it's fun. It was a fun day.
Dayton, with the season that you've had a lot of tough tests. With a weight as deep as 133, how do you approach the postseason?
Going to the postseason, I've pretty much wrestled everybody, so I've got my hands on everybody, so I really know what they do. I kind of have the feel for them. So that's really huge going into postseason and Big 12s and nationals, knowing that you've already wrestled everybody. There's not going to be any surprises of different feel or something like that. So this season's really prepared me for nationals.
Any other questions? Can we get a big smile, guys? Awesome. Thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
You want to take this water?